Welcome to the Make and Design Podcast. I'm your host, Carina Gardner. On this podcast, we're unraveling the everyday joys and dilemmas of design, making, and business. For makers who want to be designers and for designers who are makers, this is your inside scoop to help you grow your business and bring more creativity to your life.
Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. Today I want to talk about what happens when life gets in the way. And here's the thing, I started this podcast to talk about design. But what I'm finding more and more is that if we do not have some stability in our personal lives, it is very hard to, one, be creative, and two, create the time that is necessary to become a great designer. And yes, I know that lots of people don't like me saying that. I think most people would understand when I say, like, if there's struggles and stuff going on in our personal lives, it's very difficult to then deal with the creative piece. But I know that a lot of people also don't like me to say that if we have those struggles, then we're not carving out the right time and the amount of time. Because guess what? Especially at the beginning, and I have a lot of beginning designers who are listening to this podcast or hanging out with me on my YouTube channel. And when you're at the beginning, not only do you need effort, but you need the time to dedicate to it. When we send kids to graphic design school, right? Same as any other degree. If you go do a 4-year degree at a university or a community college, right? The whole goal is that you are putting all this time learning a craft, learning that body of work, whether it's English or psychology or art history. Same with graphic design. You're learning that body of work so that you can become a great designer. Okay, so when that happens, when you've put in all that time, what comes out at the end of the 4 years is someone who's a proficient at the software, someone who understands what higher level design is, right? And it's very interesting to me because I think we've come into an age and a time where especially you can do online programs. Like I have an online virtual program and people want the quick fixes. They want to take a 1 month or a 2 month course, and it's going to teach them, they think, everything they need to know so they can then immediately go and make money, and that they are like a foolproof designer after a couple of months, maybe even after a year, okay? Like maybe they take a class for a couple of months and then they practice for a year and then they're just like, that's it, I'm done, I'm amazing, I'm a designer, right? And the thing I need to emphasize to you is that it takes so much more than that. It is not a quick fix. I mean, I think that anytime anyone is to become good at anything, we've got to put all this effort and some time into it. That's what makes the sacrifice so real. It's also how we produce amazing designers. Because if you can start putting that time in, when you start looking back, you start to realize, oh, I wasn't that good at the beginning, but oh my gosh, I am so good now. And it just comes with time. And maybe you don't feel like you're so good, but you're like, I'm doing better. I'm becoming 1% better every single day, right? So, okay, back to the personal stuff, okay? And the reason I've been thinking about this is recently I was in a couple of meetings with members, and then recently I was in some mastermind meetings with not just my members, but with other groups, and watching and seeing personal family struggles, things that are out of your control. And guess what? Totally out of your control is health issues, right? Family members, things happening to them, your work schedule, perhaps. But there are things in our lives that are not in our control. And it makes it really, really hard to get down and do the creative work that we are meant to do. It is very hard. And I think more than anything, this episode is to help you normalize the idea that, first of all, everybody has personal struggles. Everybody has stuff. I share a little bit of my personal struggles with my program, but I don't share everything, okay? And I want you to know I've had some big, difficult things in my life. But even throughout all of that, I carved out the time for my creative work. And I did that for a couple of reasons. One, because financially, I knew that it would be worth it, okay? And I needed the money for my family. And especially those early years, I finished my Ph.D. I wasn't the creative director yet of Cartabella, but those early years when I was trying to get contracts and I was trying to build an online business and I was trying to figure out how to do it with very small children, I promise you there were struggles. There were things going on in my life that were difficult. But I chose to carve out that time because, number one, I made it a priority. And number two, it was important financially to my family. And now, for a lot of you might be like, yeah, but that's you, Carina. That's not me. And I'm here to tell you that if you do not carve out time now, like figure out ways to carve out time on your terms, okay? Because this is for you. It's partially for you, right? It's partially because you're trying to gain momentum in your own business. But if you don't try to carve out that time now, you will never carve out that time because struggles do not go away. Family things do not go away. Things that you cannot control, like they will not go away. It is ongoing. And I wish that it wasn't like that, but it just is. It just is. And I'm thinking about some of the bigger things that I've had to deal with in my life. Things with kids, diagnoses, whatever it is, that I didn't know that we were going to be up against, right? Things in my family, my extended family, that I didn't know that we were going to be up against. And difficulties with just dealing with the everyday life and choices that we had to make. I am here to tell you that now I've done it almost 15 years, you guys. It's going to be my 15-year anniversary in January of having my own design business. Almost 15 years of doing this. There has not been a year or a month where there has not been struggle. That there's not been things that would have, could have, should have gotten in my way. And I'm here to tell you, you can be the same. And some of you are already doing it. That's the most beautiful thing about, especially when I hear from designers and see what they're going through. You do it, you deal with it, you feel the emotions of it, because I think that's important. I don't want you to suppress it, right? But we keep moving. We keep taking actions that even through the hard things, we continue to move forward. That is being reliable. That's also doing something for yourself. And I really want this creative space, if you want it to be as well for you, to be that special space for you where you can get on your computer or your iPad or you've got your drawing or your painting things and you get to really start thinking about, this is for me. I'm doing this for me. And that you get to enjoy the experience, okay? If it becomes hard and it does not feel like a fun experience anymore, you have to ask yourself why. Why is this not fun anymore? Because for me, design is fun. When I get to sit down and I get to draw, it is exciting to me. I never know what's going to come out, okay? It's like Forrest Gump, life is like a box of chocolates. For me, the white palette on my Illustrator board, I don't know what's going to happen there, and I never know what I'm going to get. I never know what I'm going to get. So I am here to tell you and to challenge you to really carve out that creative space despite all of the crazy things happening in your life. We've done episodes before with Design Suite members who have gone through crazy health scares, real health scares, and they still were able to come back to that creative spot in their life and make it work for them. And I hope that you can make it for you. Doesn't mean that you can't deal with it or acknowledge it or even have a holy cow, great cry over it. I really endorse crying it out and getting it out of your system. But also just know that you still get to have that creative space, okay? And it's waiting for you. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today. I love hanging out with you. I hope you get so much out of this. And I feel like I'm just whether you're driving in the car with me, the podcast going, or making dinner, or whatever you're doing, that you're just getting a little more inspiration, remembering why you're here, what kind of amazing creative things you can do with your life, and that you too can be a designer. All right, see you guys.
Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.